امید و نشاط را به فضای نارضایتی و آزردگی و دلمردگی جامعه بازگرداندید.
Let's focus on Iran for a moment, where the pro-West Masoud Pezeshkian has taken over the Iranian presidency in a delicate moment for the Islamic Republic, both on the world stage as well as within its borders. Pezeshkian faces a government that is still largely controlled by hardline clerics. There are tensions with the West over the raging war in Gaza, along with bad blood over Iran's nuclear program, not to mention domestic frustrations with the regime. Will a reformist, arguably pro-West president bring much change in Iran's foreign policy, its nuclear program, or even its stance towards its proxies that surround and bait Israel? Is the world in for a gentler, more benign Islamic Republic of Iran? Well, we'll come to that. But first, what's behind the surprise win of a reformist in Iran after almost 2 decades? So who is Pezeshkian? The 70-year-old long-time member of parliament is a heart surgeon. He served as health minister during the administration of Iran's first reformist president. Over the last 2 decades, though, he has kept a relatively low profile. He did register in the previous rounds of Iranian elections in 2013, again in 2021, but he was prohibited from running by the Guardians Council, that is the council which vets all the candidates. This time, though, he surprisingly made it through. So what was Pezeshkian's campaign message that resonated with Iranian voters? During campaigning, Pezeshkian called for constructive relations, quote unquote, with Western countries to get Iran out of its isolation. He also pledged to try to revive a 2015 nuclear deal with the United States. Now, within Iran, he vowed to ease the long-standing internet restrictions. He also said that he would oppose police patrols that were enforcing the mandatory hijab on women, a big issue in Iran since the death in police custody in 2022 of Mahsa Amini. Now, a key reason for his win in the runoff against his conservative rival is the Iranian public mood, one which saw a chance to influence some aspects of its life after what many call 3 years of violent oppression from the regime. But can Pezeshkian deliver? That's the million-dollar question. Well, the answer to that would be an emphatic no, at least right now. That's because Iran's president is not the real head of state. The ultimate authority rests with the supreme leader, a post which has now been held by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei for the last 35 years. The Ayatollah is unelected, and so is his handpicked council of Islamic clerics who ensure that the government does not stray from its chosen path of Shia theocracy. Also, in the Iranian system, the president has virtually no power over the military or the army's ideological wing, that is, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. But Pezeshkian being elected as president will surely make some difference, at least outwardly. While being loyal to the existing system, given that his hands are virtually going to be tied, he may bring about a kinder, gentler Islamic Republic in Iran, appeasing to some extent tensions on the regional scene and dousing out some of the dissatisfaction at home. However, the new president will be surrounded by conservatives, some of whom are quite confrontational. Remember, most of the Iranian parliament is conservative or ultra-conservative. Speaker Mohammad Karibaf, who ran against Pezeshkian in the first round and was knocked out, has significant influence. Karibaf, remember, reportedly was the favorite of the supreme leader and even the IRGC to win this election. Now, given this backdrop, everything hinges on how relations between the new president and the IRGC will play out. During Ibrahim Raisi's tenure, the presidency and the guards were on very good terms. Those good ties resulted in the Iranian military's unprecedented missile and drone attack on Israel on April 13th and 14th this year. Now, Pezeshkian is now the head of Iran's National Security Council, which decided on the attack on Israel in the first place. Now, one has to wait and watch to see how much independence will he have in taking critical decisions here at this council. Which brings me to Iran's nuclear program. Now, during the campaign, Pezeshkian declared that he supports removing sanctions on Iran through negotiations with the West. Now that he is president of a nuclear threshold country, his way forward will be keenly watched. Pezeshkian perhaps realizes that the previous agreement is irrelevant in the current situation and that Iran will need to definitely demonstrate more flexibility to reach a deal to remove the sanctions. But here again, his hands may be tied. The key decisions on how to proceed will undoubtedly be made by the supreme leader.